What's up, guys and gals? It's me, your old buddy Mr. Moose, ready to get back into the cab and do a little bit more trucking with you. Today we're going to be driving in Euro Truck Simulator 2 because SCS has announced the open beta for version 1.28. So we thought we'd get in it, do a little bit of driving and check it out. Now most of the changes in 1.28 for Euro Truck are going to be the same and mirror what is going on in ATS. They're trying to get them both on the same page and do the same updates at the same time. So with that said, that means you're going to get the same abilities to change your backgrounds. We got this neat little street look going on now. You can also be in the garage or have the multicolor background and a lot of the other little changes that are in there. But the big thing about 1.28 for Euro Truck is the addition of doubles into ETS2. Now, that's something that the community has wanted for a very long time, longer than ATS has even been around. And so you would think that with it being implemented in, people would be really happy and really excited. However, it's been met with some mixed emotion because one, and this was the first punch to the kidney, SCS has announced that the only place you'll be able to do the doubles is in the Scandinavian DLC. And for those who don't own the DLC, that's sort of a slap in the face, right? Because they've been waiting for doubles and they want them, and if they don't own the DLC, they're not going to be able to get them. So that was one. SCS's reasoning behind that is because doubles are only legal in the Scandinavian countries, and that's sort of a half-truth, right? I mean, yes, the way SCS implemented the doubles into the game, it's only legal in the Scandinavian countries, and I'll show you what I mean. When we jump in, I've got a double all queued up and ready to go, and it is a double in the same sense that a US double. Let me go ahead and go into developers mode, and we'll bring the cam out a little bit here so you can actually look at the truck in all its glory, right? There you have it. Now, it is a true sense of the word double in the sense that you've got a truck and two trailers, so it is a double. But that's not the way a double in Europe is typically set up. A double in Europe is more of two cargo containers being driven, right? The first being rigid mounted to the truck and then a trailer being towed behind it. That is what most Europeans come to think of as a quote-unquote double. It is a truck like a box van pulling a trailer. Now, the length of the box van can be anything from, you know, just a few feet to, you know, a long truck with a small pup behind it, or you could have a shorter truck with like a truck and a 20-foot box on it and then have a 40-foot trailer behind it, right? The combination of which, and the reason they do it that way, is in Europe, the guidelines are a lot stricter for the length of the truck. There is a maximum overall length that the truck and trailer combination can be, and they have to fit within those guidelines. That doesn't apply in the Scandinavian countries. I'm not sure which one was the first to adopt it, but because of the logging industry in Europe, some of the Scandinavian countries have been a little less apt to jump on the European standard for truck lengths because they want to give their logging industry more leeway to have the longer trucks or to have longer trailers. And so the whole option to do duals or doubles in Europe really does stem from the Scandinavian countries allowing their logging industry a little bit more leeway. And so the way that SCS implemented this with the truck-trailer-trailer combination, it is truly only legal in some Scandinavian countries, but to say that doubles aren't legal in Europe is sort of a, you know, a misguided way to make the way they implemented things make sense. So most people, when they said we're going to add doubles into Europe, they expected to get the truck-trailer combination where you would have a cargo truck and a trailer hooked together. So this was sort of a slap in the face. I know some German communities are really a little peeved off about it because they were expecting to get the cargo truck trailer combination. They didn't. So yeah, it's sort of being met with mixed emotions right now. But anyways, we've got a load. We are ready to haul off. We're taking what are we taking? Boric acid over to Jonas Coping or Jones Coping or Jonas Coping. I forget how you pronounce it. Jones Coping or something like that. I forget. It's a weird pronunciation. But anyways, we are headed over with boric acid from Stockholm. And that is the load that we're going to haul up. So let's go ahead and get started with our Scania Streamline top line. And we got a big old beefy engine in this, so hauling this isn't going to be a whole lot of a deal. But get on out of here. I'm going to go up into the old number 8 cam for cinematic look. Let you guys see the articulation there on the trailers as we head on out. And we'll hit the road. So again, this is open beta. If you want to opt in, you can do so. Just going into Steam, select the game that you want to opt into, which in this case is going to be Euro Truck Simulator. Go down to your properties, or right click on it, go down to properties, and go over to the tab that says betas. And if you click on the opt-in section, you'll see a drop-down menu that will allow you to select what beta you want to opt into, and there should be a public beta for version 1.28 if you want to get into it. And that'll give you the ability to drive. But once again, you do have to have the Scandinavian DLC in order to get the doubles. And then once the game releases, you'll need to opt out of the beta so that you're in the regular version of the game again. Alright, so I never have really understood how you signal in these autosave in these roundabouts. To me, you should signal your turn, but then again, you should just signal getting into the roundabout and signal getting into the out of the roundabout. Who knows? I don't drive in Europe, and I don't plan to drive in Europe anytime soon, so. Alright, so we'll get on our way. And make our way out of Stockholm. See, like, I feel like I ought to stop signaling when I get into the roundabout, drive past this one, and then signal that I'm turning into this one. I guess that's the proper way to do it. Alright. Should be back out on the highway. And we'll get up to speed. Of course, this load was taken through the World of Trucks. I found it easiest to get the loads by going through World of Trucks. And because most of the time, if I get into a city and I look for a load, I don't see the double. I usually only find it going through the World of Trucks contracts. So that's where I got my contract, which means I'm also governed to 90. It doesn't matter because most of the time I'm going to drive right at the speed limit. And go for that immersion factor. But there is our truck hauling chemicals, boric acid. So the delivery points are going to be pretty much the same in this as they are for the heavy haul and also for ATS. You're going to be pulling into a straight spot. You're not going to be backing up or anything else like that. Which I think is a little bit of what people were looking for with the European doubles, is the challenge of backing up that truck and trailer combination. Oh, I don't have to get off. That's the game being silly and making me try to divert off into a roundabout and not back up the ramp. I remember when this DLC first came out, I fell for that so many times. Route advisor, you joker. All right, so as we drive along in ETS2, remember, if you see the screen freeze up on me and then a couple of seconds later let loose, that is the autosave kicking in. And I don't know if it's because my profile is so old and that I've got so many drivers and garages and all that information that has to be saved that it's causing me that little hang up. Most likely that's the problem. And therefore I need to consider starting a new profile, probably. I mean, what, we're sitting at $2 billion. I got a bunch of drivers, I got a bunch of garages, and I'm almost to the point where, yeah, a fresh start over might be a good idea. Done too much driving in here. Ah, man, I gotta really slow down. It is easy for me to go way too fast in this game. I can't hear the engine hardly at all, which is weird. In my headphones, I noticed when I was doing some live streams the other day, in my headphones, I hardly hear or barely hear the engine, right? And now when I get outside the truck and I'm doing like a follow along, I hear it pretty good, right? I noticed that when I do this exterior view, you can almost, the game is much louder in the recorded version. It's like my recording software has some sort of compressor that pulls that background noise up, and the engine is a bit louder, and when I get out of it, it's almost so loud you can't hear me. So I don't know what that is, but yeah, in my headphones I can't hardly hear it. So when I get to drive it along, I almost you know, because I drive a lot by ear in ATS, and I used to try to do it in this as well, and that was the frustrating part of it. It's so quiet in these trucks that it's a little bit difficult for me to go ahead and drive by ear. I just don't have that audible tone that I'm looking for. So yeah, sometimes I'll get to going fast. But anyways, if the game freezes up, which I expect it will do it every 5 to 10 minutes, it is because the autosave is there. It is right there on cue. Autosave kicking in and messing with me a little bit. So anyways, I've hauled a couple of loads just to see what it was all about, see how the doubles were set up in here, and they pretty much all seem to be set up like a Rocky Mountain double with like a 40-footer and a 20-footer behind it. What the actual links are in the game, I'm not really sure. I want to say the overall length of the truck and trailer in Europe is like 28 meters, something like that. That may be way wrong. But I know it's a little bit larger in the Scandinavian countries. I'm wanting to say it was like Denmark was the first to implement it, where they didn't adapt the European standard, where they went with their own standard, and then Sweden followed right behind. Though it could have been Norway, I'm not really sure. It was one of the two. One of the two was the first, and it was either Denmark or Norway. Seems to me like Norway would have more trees than Denmark, but I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Well, yeah, so reading the forums yesterday, quite interesting when this came out. There was a lot of upset people. A lot of people, I've never seen this combination before in my life. You'd never see this in Germany. Why have you added this into the game? Pretty funny. Why'd they do it? Because it was the easiest way for them to implement it. They'd already done it for, you know, ATS. And the interesting thing is to see if they will realize their mistake and go back and do a European double or do a cargo double and actually add that in. I mean, they could make money off of it. They could do it as a DLC and people would buy it, you know? So next time we get into a roundabout situation, I need to look. I need to see if the trailers on this have steering axles or not. I don't think they do. Ah, here come all the planes. I always love all these the plane statues. Wonder if we could get a screenshot with one in the background. Doom. It might be too dark. Let's try it. Let's try to get the screenshot with the planes in the background. Let's see. What side we need to be on this side of the truck. Oh, there it is. Where's the other one? There's the other one. I gotta get rid of the blur. I hit the wrong button. Ah, silly me. What part of driving does this have to do with, Moose? The fun part, the creative part. Getting a cool thumbnail. Oops, hit the wrong button. All right, so let's see if we can go. Probably should have driven just a little bit forward on that. Because that I could have made that profile shot. Oh well. Take the blur out. And we'll go for that shot. Ain't the best. I stopped a little bit too soon. Oh well. Always looking for that screenshot. Gotta have something for a thumbnail. Oh, gotta slow back down. Speeding again. Cruise control's your friend, Moose. Use it. Since they do have roaming cops in the game again, now in Euro Truck, you do have to run the speed limit. It's not like before where you could just hammer down and when you saw the speed camera up ahead, you jumped on the brakes and, you know, got down to speed and then you went on. Now you've got the roaming cops in the game and, yeah, you got to be mindful of your speed all the time, which I'm really glad they did. That was one of the really nice patches that they did a while back. Yeah, you gotta get in and drive it a little bit. Who knows? Maybe they'll put the DLC on sale when this when they release this patch. Maybe they'll put the DLC on sale as an olive branch to everybody and say, look, if you don't have the DLC, you know, pick it up, save a little bit of money. And by the way, you can drive doubles once you do that. And you know, did they do it this way just so they could sell more, you know, DLCs? No. No, they didn't do that. They did it because they're, you know, lazy. This was the easiest way to implement them. You know? They didn't have to design all new trucks. Because if they design new trucks, they'd have to design all new of everything. Because if you only put out the Scania and the DAF and the Mercedes, then, you know, all the other people are gonna, the man guys are gonna bitch and complain. There's the autosave kicking in. I mean, just look at the heavy haul DLC. The heavy haul DLC, they put in 3 trucks in there and they, you know, where's the, you know, where's this one at? How come I didn't get a Volvo version? Or how come I didn't get this version? You know? Can't ever make everybody happy unless you do everything for everybody. And so if they do it, they're going to have to do, you know, 6 versions of the truck. But that would be an awesome DLC versus, you know, like, you know, when they did the whole Scania DLC for the Majestic, whatever it is. Anyways, so that you could put the neon there on the dashboard and, you know, add pipes to the back and everything else like that. Well, of course, the Volvo people are like, how come we don't have a Volvo DLC? But yeah, if they, you know, if they went through and they did a redesign and put some box trucks in, that would be cool. That would be cool. Add some box trucks in and some trailers that you can pick up for the box trucks, and then you'd be able to do a proper European double, and you make a lot of people happy. And I'm sure $3-4, you know, $5, whatever. I'm sure they pay for it. Maybe that's the plan. Who knows? Of course, the big thing in the forums that I got a chuckle out of is it's Euro Truck Simulator, right? It's truck driving simulator. And the number of Europeans that all they're caring about right now is, when is bus driving going to be implemented? When are you going to put coaches in the game so that we can drive coaches? And to me, that's its own game. I don't think you need to put buses into a truck driving simulator. Leave it a bus sim. I mean, leave it a truck sim. If you want to take the architecture for this and make a bus driving simulator, knock yourself out. Then again, I don't want them to do that because I don't want them to split their attention. They already can't split their attention between two truck driving sims. Good Lord, give them a bus sim as well as truck sims to take care of. We'll never get any updates for ATS. Some great scenery here. This is my favorite DLC. I like the Scandinavian DLC. You get so much scenery. Oops. Especially when you get up here into Jönköping or whatever it's called. You've got the ag stuff out here on the side, like the big scarecrow looking thing, or the big serpent, or I guess, I don't know if it's Loch Ness or something, I don't know. Yeah, it's supposed to be some sort of animal or whatever depicted in the coming up out of the ground. There's some cool stuff in here as far as scenery, though. They did a good job with it. I've always liked this DLC. However, it got away from the norm a little bit on this that I was used to. One of the reasons, like, I thought a DLC for doubles was going to be awesome in Euro Truck, and I was looking forward to getting in here and driving them, is Euro Truck has pretty much always been set up more to favor freight hauling, in the sense that you've got things like you're hauling hub to hub, or logistics facility to logistics facility. For the most part of ETS, you're not hauling from, up until the Scandinavian DLC, you weren't hauling from you know, a hub to the IKEA facility, or, you know, to some mom and pop shop. Now, they did change that once they started getting into the Scandinavian DLC, but for the most part, you've got a lot of hubs you're picking up at and hauling off to, and then dropping off at. And so doubles would work really well with most of the original there's the autosave again, with most of the original format. Now, when you get into here, like, you've got the grocery store you're dropping off at, the G&T that we're dropping off at here. These are some smaller establishments, and not necessarily make as much sense to haul doubles into. But then again, I'm not European, so I don't know how it is in Europe. It might be much more common in Europe than it is in the States to do something like that. But I thought, you know, well, this would be cool, doubles to logistics, and then they said, well, it's in the Scandinavian DLC. I was like, uh-oh, that means we're going to be hauling doubles to IKEA and doubles to the grocery store, and All right, so we pull in here, boom, there is our load. So if we take a look outside real quick, you don't have to be perfectly straight in it, as long as you're in it, you are good to go. So we'll go ahead and hit T, we'll trailer it up, and our load is delivered. And we did good. And we made a little bit of money, and we got a load done. So anyways, check it out, the open beta 1.28 for Euro Truck Simulator. Again, if you have the Scandinavian DLC, you'll be able to drive the doubles. Otherwise, you'll have to pick that up. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it today. If you did, as always, make sure you smack that like button for me. Leave a comment down below. And if you enjoy the channel, consider leaving a subscribe. I'm trying to get back to doing those recorded videos. I did record some 7 Days to Die yesterday. I'll work on getting that up for you guys. I think I'm going to start a single player series on that, but I also want to start getting some truck driving up somewhat daily for you guys. There's a couple of little glitches in the video that I've noticed. I'm working on that. I had a little bit of an overheating issue with my rig this week, so I'm working on that as well. I had some fans burn out, and just replacing those, and that's the reason the last couple of days I hadn't done any live streams or anything. But once I get everything situated and up and running, I hope to get back to doing those daily videos for you guys. But anyways, thanks for watching. Until the next time, stay safe, have a great day, God bless you and your family, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.